recording. And right off the bat, US30 hits take profit right here, right off the bat. So I sent out a signal this morning. The signal was at 42,100, and as you guys can see, US30 just broke down very, very nicely. I'm gonna go over why I send the signal, but boom, we're already 100 points in profit, and it's 9:32 a.m. Eastern time. And then NAS100, it also hit take profit 1, because I also send out a signal on NAS100. I send it out right here. Stop loss was right here. Hit take profit 1. Take profit 2 is down here. So we're starting off the morning with 2 big wins off the bat, like boom, back to back, which is amazing. So let me go right on the TradersMrk channel that we hit take profit, and I'll start with the live session. So boom, take profit 1 on US30. Let's go. And take profit 1 on NAS100. Let's get it. Awesome way to start off the morning. So now what we're going to be doing is going over why exactly I send out the signals that I sent out this morning. With that, the first thing that I want to do is move this to the right side so we could just focus on US30. And the first thing that I want to go over right here is grabbing a trend line and showing you guys from the highest point to the lowest point, which is right here. We see that the market is starting to move in a downwards direction. Then we see that there is an area of support. So we're going to grab this right here, draw out the area of support. And as you guys can see, in this area of support, market goes up, market comes down, market goes up, market comes down, market goes up. Market then breaks down. And when the market then breaks down, what I wait for is one of the most easiest things to trade with, a Fibonacci retracement. So then the market comes down to go up to perfectly hit 0.50. That's where I send out the signal for us to enter in for a sell. On top of the market already breaking down plus the support and the fib retracement. And as you guys can see, a perfect win. We're about to hit take profit 2, which is 200 points, but we already hit take profit 1. And that's why I send out a sell on US30. Now, I'm going to go over why I send out a sell on NAS100 as well. So as you guys know, whatever happens to US30 typically reflects across other indices like SPS 500, NAS100, and so if one does something, the other does kind of the exact same thing, either sooner or later. And the reason I say that is because sometimes US30 moves and NAS100 takes an hour or two to then move in the same direction. It kind of stalls a little bit. In a race, think about it like a car. US30 is the faster car, and then NAS100 is the medium car, and then the slowest car is the SPX 500. The SPX 500 is like a Porsche. It's the slowest car. But I don't want to insult any Porsche fans. And you know, with NAS100, it was the exact same setup basically. We have the market going up, hitting resistance up here, right? This is an area of resistance. This is an area of support down here. We see that the market came down to then go up and hit an area of resistance, and then I send out a sell, and that's how we won essentially the trade. Now, NAS100 is only 10 points away from hitting take profit 2, which will ensure us 100 points with NAS100, and US30 here just hit take profit 2, and that's 200 points. So right off the bat, in the first 5 minutes of a Tuesday morning, we have secured almost 300 points. Like I said, NAS100 is 10 points away. As soon as this hits the take profit, I'll secure that. But what an amazing morning to start with. Like, boom, right off the bat, 300 points on TradersMrk. Yeah, super excited for these trades because the confirmations were there, and it was all about waiting for the perfect setup and waiting for the retracements to hit. and then boom, we hit take profit. So I'm gonna go take a moment to write down that we hit take profit too, and I'll continue the live session with you guys. Awesome. Right here. Boom, take profit too. And right here. Boom, take profit too. Man, and boom. NAS100 just hit take profit too. So I could now confirm we have secured over 300 points on a Tuesday morning on TradersMrk live with you guys. I send out the signals 20 minutes before I went live. Actually, my bad, 30 minutes before I went live. We typically go live every morning at 9:15. Today I went live a little bit later because I had to do a few things, but I sent out the signal right before and we hit take profit. And what I really like about this is that since we have such a good schedule here on TradersMrk, we go over 3 different live sessions each and every single day. I'm sorry, we have 3 different live schedules, and we trade Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays live. New York session at 9:15, Asia session around 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then London session at 2 a.m. Eastern time, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So that's 3 days out of the week that you're hopping onto 3 different sessions, a total of 9 sessions each and every single week for you to participate in and, you know, take these trades with us. And not only take the trades, but understand why you're also taking the trades. Because what's the point of me sending out a signal if I'm not teaching you why I send out the signal? What are the confirmations that I took to send out a signal? And, you know, essentially the whole management of the signal, which means how are we managing the trade? What are we doing when we're live in the trade and we are in either drawdown, we're in either profit? That's very important. And that's why I like TradersMrk so much, because we're not just sending out signals. We're literally telling you guys how we're sending them out, covering A through Z on everything we're doing to manage the signal. And then we either hit stop loss and we post it transparently. You guys are going to see on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube a lot of videos of us hitting stop loss. Isaac's first YouTube video, guys, is him hitting stop loss. Like, I don't see other communities really posting their first YouTube video of them, you know, shitting the bag and hitting stop loss. And that's why I like TradersMrk so much, because we're transparent and we show you guys what trading really is about. So what I'm going to go over now is a little bit of, you know, this strategy, but I'm going to use it with past markets. Before I go over that, I'm going to write something real quick on TradersMrk because we hit the take profit. What I want to do now is actually go back and teach the same strategy we caught here, because the strategy was very simplistic. So if we grab 2 lines of resistance and a line of support, and then another line down here, which we'll use this one for, you know, the sig bean. We'll use this right here for sig bean. So what we did was capture something that's extremely easy to capture, and this is one of the first things you learn with trading. So let's say you have a market from back here that goes up, you know, hits this area of support to then go up, to then break past this area of support and come down. Once it comes down, are you going to enter the market right away? Absolutely not. So again, I'm going to repeat this one more time. We have a market back here, right? Let me move this. We have a market back here. The market goes up, the market comes down, the market goes up, the market then comes down. Are you going to enter the market right away? Absolutely not. What you're going to wait for is an area of retracement. So the market will then come up, and then based on the level of retracement, for example, let's say the market has a level of retracement that is, in this scenario, I think it'll be like a 50-ish almost. Like, look, I was like spot on 50. Once the market hits that level of retracement, right, then you're going to enter the signal. If the market doesn't break past the resistance, which is very important, and also hits the area of retracement that you want, then you'll enter the signal, because your first take profit will typically be where 0.23 is at or where 0's at. That's your first take profit. Your second take profit could be the extension of the Fibonacci, which I will go over on a different call. due to the fact that with the extensions, it's a bit tricky to understand where the market's going to go exactly to, because there's a lot of different strategies you could use. Like you could clone a move, for example, which is, you know, literally the name it in itself, cloning a move. But those are things I'm going to go on on another call. But this is exactly what we entered here, right? We saw the market went up, the market came down, the market went up, then the market came down to break past the support, to then come down and hit another level of support. Then it went up to hit resistance, which was previous support, didn't break past the resistance, and then came down. The exact same scenario right here. The market went up, came down, went up to hit resistance, came down, broke past support, to then go up and hit resistance and hit the 0.50 to then come down. Very, very simplistic. So with that being said, this is one of the easiest strategies there is out there to learn, because you're just learning, you know, market structure. On one of my Instagram reels, I talk about how important it is to understand market structure. Reasoning for that is because just going over this right here and not using anything else but support, resistance, and a Fibonacci, you should be able to understand why this trade went the way it went, just based off those three factors. Resistance is factor number 1, support is factor number 2, and Fibonacci is factor number 3. And as well, we look at where market structure and price action is moving price. And then with NAS100 is the exact same story. The exact same story. I mean, it looks a little different, but it's, you know, movement by movement, the exact same thing. Resistance, support, hits resistance, comes down to hit support. There's previous resistance here, goes up. When I say there's previous resistance, I mean in the market behind it, goes up to hit, you know, what is support here is now resistance, and then comes down perfectly. And this is why I say that in another live session or webinar, I want to teach the extensions, or I want to teach where you could capture a move up to, because there's something called cloning a move. Cloning a move, if we go onto the 1 hour chart, right? Or for this example, actually the 15-minute would actually be the best example. So what cloning a move is very simplistic. You're going to grab a trend line from the highest to the lowest before the market moved up. You're going to grab that, you're going to draw it, you're going to come here and where it says clone, you're going to clone it. And then the market from the highest point to the lowest point should be the exact same move. As you can see, from here to here, right, you have the market being, this is the length of where the market reached to. Cloning a move shows you an indication of where the market's going to reach to. So now if I do this and move it like this, right, just moving it for visual purposes, you guys see it's almost the exact same move. And that's what cloning a move is. Cloning a move helps a lot with understanding where you should get out of the market. So that's something very important. With that being said, if we go on US30 and do the exact same scenario, it will kind of work out the same. So from the highest point here to the lowest point before the market moved up, we come here, we clone the move, and then we draw it from the highest point to the lowest point right here. And I'm going to move it just for an example. And it went a little bit far past the clone, but the clone helps you understand where to put your take profit. And that's why we put the final take profit there. We have 2 take profits. So on TradersMrk, I like to put 2 take profits and 1 stop loss and 1 entry, of course. Reasonings is because it's super simplistic to follow that type of signal. You have 1 entry, you have 2 take profits, either 1 or 2, and you have 1 stop loss. The easiest way to follow the signals, guys, is entering 2 different signals. So if you're risking, let's say 0.10 of a lot size, divide it into 0.05 and take 2 trades. 1 trade is set to hit take profit 1, 1 trade is set to hit take profit 2. As soon as take profit 1 is hit, move the stop loss of the second trade to break even to secure that trade, that trade will hit break even if, worst case scenario, the market turns around on us. But typically, that's why the signals that I send are 100 points long. Once a market moves 100 points, I mean, Yes, it could turn around, but the likelihood that it would turn around immediately is very unlikely. And that's why the signals I send out are 100 points apart. It's not these whack signals that are 5 points apart and you see 10 different take profits. It's like, what is that? I don't comprehend that. What's the point of sending a signal and having the take profit at 5, 10, 15, 20, 25? It doesn't make any sense. That just shows that the trader that's sending out the signal is insecure about that signal. If you send out a signal, send out 2 different take profits or 1 take profit, and have that take profit be a significant move, at least in the marketplace. And that's why I send out signals that have 2 take profits. But yeah, that was the move of the day. 300 points captured on Tuesday. I mean, you know, just a great day overall. Yeah, the market is still moving towards the downside. The VIX, you know, right here, the VIX is moving, it looks like it's moving towards the downside a little bit, but it is going to move towards the upside, I believe, either today or tomorrow. Reasoning for that, so the VIX is moving towards the downside, and like I said, I do believe it's going to go towards the upside. Reasoning for that, either tomorrow or today, is because of this major gap. With this major gap being there, the VIX will want to fill that gap. And with it filling that gap, I believe that US30 will continue to go down a little bit more. It went down to this area right here previously of support. You could say support. Hit the area of support. Now, the big question is it going to break down past that support? If it does, then I'll send out another signal later today on TradersMrk Pro. So you guys could capture, because if it does break down this support, I believe it will come up to this area, and that is about, let's say we enter, you know, let's say we use the same exact technique and we enter, where is my path tool? Jeez. Okay. Let's say we enter the exact same move. It reaches this area because there's an area of resistance here, for example, previously, and then it comes back up, and from it coming up, it'll go down. If we enter right where the area of resistance, support is, that will become now resistance, I mean, we'll be able to capture, we'll risk 100 points as usual and go for 200 or even 300 points. We'll be able to capture it pretty easily. So yeah, if the market comes down, later today I'll send out another signal on US30 and the exact same thing. I'm not too sure about NAS100 because it doesn't have the exact same market structure, but perhaps I'll send out a signal on NAS100 as well. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed the live session, and I hope you guys have a tremendously wonderful day. I will catch you guys on tomorrow, Wednesday, at 9:15 a.m. Eastern Time.